Investigation, Add, and Update. The investigation report is the equivalent of your 363 report today, and it's due 5 days after the incident is submitted to the state. I'm on the task list screen, and in the grid area, I have 3 incidents. I have one with incident draft. That again is an incident that I'm in the middle of creating. It has not been submitted to the state. Your facility investigation draft means that the investigation has been started but not completed and submitted to the state. And the last one is the incident submitted. The incident was submitted to the state agency, and you now have to start your investigation report. If I click on that row in the grid, it automatically takes me to the Add Investigation screen. The MyX ID and the resident last name and first name are filled in. It gives me my workflow status. Remember, it was incident submitted. As soon as I came to the investigation add, it changed it from submitted to SA to investigation draft. My MyX ID is 8, and it automatically populates with all of the information that was submitted during the incident. I can change the diagnosis, ambulatory status, and cognitive status of the residents who were submitted with the incident, or I can add up to 5 residents. I'm going to leave everything as is. I have to save the resident tab, and that means that I am saving this information as part of my investigation. The next tab is Law Enforcement. This was not a tab that was available to you during your incident, but if you did report this to a law enforcement agency, the information is here that you can fill out for the report. The Alleged Perpetrator tab fills out with the information that I submitted to the state during the incident. I had a perpetrator first name, last name, date of birth, and resident. The investigation summary. If I want to see what I submitted with the incident, I open this and it tells me the information above where the notepad that I have to add the information to for the investigation. I can copy and paste from another document to paste in here. I can also copy the information from the incident and submit it here. Again, I have to save this information as part of the investigation report. My investigation detail tab fills out with the information that was submitted. I can leave it as is, or I can change it. If I want to see how I answered the questions, they're here. If I disagree now with how I answered the questions, or it's a different incident type, I can click Restart Questions, and they will start them over again. I can also close the X here, and it takes me back to the screen where I could actually change the type of incident or type of injury or harm. I'm going to leave it as is, and I'm going to restart my questions. It gave me the data was saved successfully, but I'm still going to go up and I'm going to save my tab. It's a good practice to click on Save anytime that you leave one tab and go to the next. Action taken. Was the family guardian contacted? If I say yes, it opens additional fields, date and time the family or guardian was contacted. Was the physician contacted? If I answer yes, it gives me the additional fields. If I answer no, I do not get the additional fields. I do have a notepad here that is required. Going to save that. And again, if I had any attachments that I wanted to add as part of the investigation, I click on Upload after I've selected them. It's here. I can delete it until the investigation is submitted to the state. After it's submitted to the state, it becomes a permanent record and the attachment cannot be removed. I'll click on Save. It's now ready to submit to the state. I get my notepad. And I'm going to check the checkbox and check OK. This is my confirmation that the information is true to the best of my knowledge. And now that has been submitted. Going back to the task list, I have 2 instead of 3 showing. One is incident draft, which means I have started the incident but not completed. Here I'm going to go in and complete the investigation report for MIAX ID 6. If I click on that, you'll notice since it was already in the workflow status of investigation draft, it took me to the update investigation screen function instead of the add. That's because it has already been started. Again, the information is here. I can change the fields that are enabled for me. If I don't change anything, I'm going to click the Save button to save this as a part of my investigation record. If I had any information to enter here in the law enforcement, I would. The alleged perpetrator information, if I had an alleged perpetrator, I could add that person here. My summary information. Again, if I click here, it's going to tell me what I submitted during the incident report, or I can type in or copy and paste from other documents into this. If I try to type "See attached" and I click on my Save button, I will get the error, must be greater than 50 characters and must not include the words like "See attached." The area that errored does display in red. I'm going to remove "See attached" and I'm going to click on Save, and this time it saved successfully. The investigation detail, the information that was submitted with the incident, automatically populates the screen. The fields are enabled so I can change any of this information. And this tells me how I responded to the questions during the incident. I can either save it as part of the investigation report or I can restart. I'm going to save. And I'm going to click on Save again. Action taken. It opens up the additional information for date and time. And if a physician was contacted, yes or no. If I answered yes, it would open up the additional date and time fields. I'm going to answer no. And then this area is the required information for the action taken after the incident. Going to save. The attachment, again, it completes by the system, so there's nothing there. And the attachment that I attached during the incident can be seen if I want to add additional documents as part of the investigation. I can upload, and I can delete that until the investigation is submitted to the state. After the investigation is submitted to the state, it is a permanent document for the incident. Okay, everything has been completed. I'm still in investigation draft, so I know that this still needs to be submitted to the state. I'm going to click on Submit. I get my confirmation pop-up. I'm going to check the checkbox and click the OK button. That completes the investigation add and update section.